Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday. How's everybody doing in the midweek hump day, as it were? You know what we're doing here today. It's Fermented Tuna Wednesday. You know, where it's a little it's Tuna Wednesday. You know, it's a little crunchy on the outside, still chewy in the middle. You know how it is. You know how we do it. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. Cosmic, I see you. Diz, I saw you stop in before. Finger Sniffer, aka I Blame Chrissy, aka Aroused, aka Butt Plug, aka I don't remember all your names. The Great Mason. How's everybody? So yeah. It's Wednesday, as I said, and we've been it's been a busy week so far for me. You know, transitioned back from nights back to days. Um, well, thanks, Mason, thanks. So we're back on days and just trying to take care of a few things, which is why I didn't do this earlier. And yeah, things. Oh yeah. Piss on me 69. Yeah. You've had so many names. You've had so many names. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy. I think it's still set to this. I think. Yeah. Oh, it's going to play twice because I forgot it. It echoes. It goes, no matter which one I send it to, it'll echo. I forgot. I should probably do it in like one of the chats and not the chat that, anyways, what's up, Mr. E? What's going on, man? How are you? It's good. I mean, it's dry. We got to replace some baseboards, but you know, nothing too major. Blaze is dealing with some house issues. I know Pagan just recently got done dealing with all his house issues, so you know, seems like it's going around, right? It's going around. So how is everybody? What's everybody been playing? Because I go on my Star Citizen account and look at the friends list to see who's playing, and there's not many people playing on my friends list. Like 4.0, there was a huge because I have like just under 100 people on my friends list, and prior to that it was like 2 or 3 people were on out of, I think I have like 96 or 98 people on there. And then when 4.0 came out, it spiked up to like 40 of them were on there, and now it's back down to like 5 or 6. You know, granted, I know some of my friends are in EU and some are in Australia and whatnot, but I know it's been kind of empty. BioShock, Age of Empires. All right. I've been playing Marvel Rivals, which if I stream that again, I am not a grandmaster or celestial or one above all or any of that stuff. You're going to be stuck watching a gold/plat player play, and you know, well, that's okay. It's not very good, and I'm still learning the game, and I know it's going to take me a long time to get really good at that, but if I even get really good at it, you know, everybody has a plateau, right? You know, but yeah, and I've been playing cyberpunk, and I started on stream what is that game called, Stalker 2. So yeah, that's basically what I've been playing. PvP sweatlording in Destiny 2 with the side of Elite. Nice. Replaying OG Final Fantasy 7 with some mods for upscaling and voiceovers. That's okay. Okay, Blaze. I feel you, man, or Mr. E, whichever you prefer to be addressed as. I feel you. I feel you. So they came out with, so they had bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, grandmaster, celestial, and then they added one above all. And like And what's crazy is once you basically get to like Grandmaster and Destiny, your wait times for games increase exponentially because there's not as many people in the pool to play against that at your same rank. And then when you get to like one above all, it's like, I think somebody was saying it's like 40 minutes to an hour waiting for a game, and you're playing against the same people pretty much every time. You know, you're playing against the top 40, 50 people in that entire game, maybe top 100, but yeah, you're playing in a very, very small pool of people up there. I mean, it's it's rank, not character. Yes, yeah, it's rank. It's rank. I like how they do their rank, but at the same time, I also don't like how they do their rank. And the one issue that I have is like, look, I know I'm not that good, and I'm like mid-level to like average, maybe at like on my best days, but there are teammates I get that we're gonna get into that, Jay Grizz. We're gonna get into that, and welcome. But there are teammates I get that they have as much when it comes to that game sense and ability to play the game is extremely diminished compared to what even I can do. It's pretty awful. And then, you know, I have my bad games too, so I don't help the situation out. So yeah, it is what it is, right? But I like it. Gives me a little something to compete in, something to improve upon, because, you know, I won't get into it too much with Star Citizen. I did stream it and the other day, and the results were about what I expected. Yeah. So I guess without further ado, we should like do some reacts or something, because that's what we do here on the Fermented Tuna Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. Ugh. So we got a few videos. Set up and ready to go. So first we're going to do a video game trailer, and then we'll get into some other stuff. This is a really fast video game trailer, so keep your eyes and ears open. It goes super fast. It's a sci-fi game. I don't know much about it. Grumpy shared the trailer with me, and it looks really interesting and something I'm going to be keeping my eye out for. All right, you guys ready? Xerxes Shadow. I have no idea if this is single player, multiplayer, or what.
I see them too. Not dreams.
Now, if you go back right here, this looks like the Super Cruise from Elite Dangerous. So this looks cool. Not sure what that is.
Every system, every world,
I'm assuming this is single player.
now at risk.
It's on Steam, so, you know, wish listed if you're into that sort of thing. No, go back. So it's on Steam, but yeah, it looks interesting. I'm not like, you know, gonna run out and buy it immediately, but it is available on Steam. You can wish list it, and yeah, like I said, I like sci-fi stuff, you know, from classic to more of the X-Files, Millennium type sci-fi stuff. I'm into that sort of thing. I like it, and Oh, I have my bug counter up. I forgot to turn it off. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I should add one more for being an idiot. Boop, 20. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I thought I had turned it off. I bet you I double clicked it when I turned it off. But anyways, looks interesting, looks fun, could be cool, could be awesome, could be game of the year. I'm just saying. It's AI player. Just watch AI play it. What? What? No.
Streamer bro, back up.
You love that one, don't you? But yeah, I don't know. Looks cool. The requirements aren't very high on it. It's not very high at all. Recommended. Yeah, it's still not very hard. Still not very high. Guardian, how are you doing, man? Still not very high. Oops. Let's get back to the list. The list. Now I got to go all the way back down to the bottom. Stupid list. I got to clear this out. There's so much stuff we've watched and haven't watched on here. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Oh, you were joking, Guardian? Okay. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's Wednesday. It's been an eventful week so far, but I'm doing good. So there's a few things I want to cover in here, and yeah. So we're gonna hit the elephant in the room. A lot of people have been talking about this when it comes to Star Citizen, and you know, let's see what this is all about. Okay, so CIG gets reported to the UK authorities by Dig That 32.
It is advertised. Period. No questions. No. Hey, you. A Star Citizen player has reported CIG to the UK authorities over a paint job on a spaceship. This would typically be too nerdy a topic to get into, but when you see a nerd fight, it's so hypnotically goofy that it's hard not to stop and watch. So let's try to make this quick. The communication to CIG is as follows. It appears the new Heartseeker paint in the Hornet upgrade kit does not match the paint that it is advertised as. This isn't a debate. If you sell something, it must match how it is advertised. Period. No questions, no ifs or buts. The paint needs to match, make it so. The top attached image is the paint as it is shown in the store. The image below is it in game. Can we get an update as to what CIG intend to do to rectify this? So a CIG staff member.
Okay. Of all the things, seriously, of all the things to get upset about involving Star Citizen, we are going to take them to court over a paint job. Over a paint job. I don't even know how much the skin is because I don't look at the pledge store. I find the pledge store pretentious and disturbing as hell to look at. But over a paint job, we're not going to talk about the variety, the plethora of ships that have been released unfinished with its unintended gameplay, or excuse me, with gameplay that doesn't exist yet. We're not going to talk about the fact that many people still can't even launch the damn game. We're not going to go after the fact that they are constantly advertising as a playable now live service, yet it hardly works as a live service. This is what we're going to go to court for. This is what we're going to go to court for. A what? A $20 paint job? A $14 paint job? This is what we're going to go to court for. Oh my God. Okay, $25 and $30 store credit. This is what we're gonna go to court for. Not the BMM, not the Carrick, not the MSR, not the fact that we can't launch the game. Like, This is what we're going to go to court for. Now, look, I have like, don't get me wrong. I have no delusions of grandeur that I could sue CIG for,
if you would join us.
you know, the 318 incident that I had, or the fact that the game became unplayable after X amount of weeks in X patch, right? I have no illusions that I don't have the money, nor do I have the patience to sue them. Like I'm going to, like, if this thing goes belly up, like I'm going to look at it this way. I lost my money. Okay. I lost my money. Okay. Is it a lot of money? To me, yes. In the grand scheme of things, no, it's not. It's a nickel, right? To CIG, it was a nickel. But I don't know. Okay.
Replied with, the paint was created as part of the Mark II Heartseeker promo, but we've made it available for all Mark II Hornets. However, the Heartseeker and other Mark II Hornets have different surface breakups, meaning any paint applied will look different between them, apart from the colors. We're also discussing internally to make paint compatibilities clearer in the future. Thanks for your feedback. Then the original poster replies with, whilst I welcome the commitment through internal discussions to make paint compatibilities clearer in the future, it does not address the underlying issue of the image used to sell the paint not resembling the paint when applied in game. Therefore, I consider CIG's conclusion unsatisfactory. As such, I have referred this for adjudication to the United Kingdom
How you doing,
Advertising
TJ? Sorry, I didn't say
Authority.
hi,
Inclusive
TJ.
of all relevant screenshots and links, this thread itself is relevant evidence and have received confirmation and a case number. Going forward, my preferred outcome through this process is that CIG make the paint supplied match that as advertised in the sale, and if they felt as a gesture of goodwill to leave the paint that doesn't match the advert for those who may like it. Also, and equally important, through this process, CIG improved their sales practices so that this doesn't occur again. Then he ends it giving CIG a pat on the head.
Okay. Like I said, of all the things to sue over, we're going to sue over a paint, a $30 paint job. This is what we're going to sue over. As I said before, I know I'm repeating myself. We're not going to go after them for accounts still being unable to log in. We're not going to go after them for the Carrick, the MSR, the BMM, and various other things that they've done throughout the 14 years they've been in business. This is what we're going to go after. Now, look, I peruse through Reddit because I find a variety of topics amusing and funny, and some of them I just scratch my head and go, huh? But take it as Reddit rumor or whatever you want to call it. But somebody did a post on this, and the OP said that he lives in Texas and practices law there, and has brought to the attention of the Texas AG about what's going on at Cloud Imperium, and supposedly quotations, as I said, this is Reddit rumor, the Texas AG
calm, reasonable person.
might be looking into the
A calm and reasonable person.
Houston, I think it's in Houston, the Houston CIG offices. Is that true? No clue. But I'm still a bit perturbed that somebody is going to sue over a paint job. I mean, I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's saying we all make mistakes. The measure is what we learn from them. So this guy's feeling very confident about himself here. We'll see how that works out, because CIG states everywhere that things are subject to change. So at the very most, maybe a junior lawyer gets an email forwarded to him while everybody nerd fights on Spectrum about it. Is he actually right, though? Is CIG dibble-dabbling in a little false advertising? The spacey ship that prompted all this is the Anvil Hornet, and in particular, the Heartseeker edition. The Hornet's a fighter which has several different variants and even new Mark II versions that have a refreshed design that's more modern than the Mark 1.
Which still perturbs me. Like this still, I don't know if I said high chase. This still perturbs me that this video game is not out yet and they're already retiring a line of ships for a game where it's kind of one of their flagship ships and it didn't even release yet and we're retiring it already. Like that still bothers me like really bad. And then we're going to charge double for the Mark II, because when I first started playing, the Hornets were about $110. Like, and now they're $240. That's insanity to me. And you do know that once they finally get pulled out of the store, places like the Impound and others are going to charge more than the face value for those Hornets, and people on eBay and everything else, they're going to charge double and triple, maybe even quadruple what the original Hornets sold for.
The Mark II versions replaced the Mark I versions, which are now no longer sold. The community's been buzzing lately because a new variant has been released, the F7CM Super Hornet Mark II. So there's a total of 12 of these ships.
Yeah, it is. The entire lineup of the Hornets from that were originally released is retired. Like they're not sold anymore. I do believe they've all been pulled from the pledge store. You can still buy them in game, I believe, and you will continue to be able to buy them in game to a point where they have said that they'll become rewards for doing things. So eventually they won't be available to buy in game either. But I really just don't agree with the fact that you sold a whole bunch of ships and are retiring them before the game is even released. Now, if you want to go back in time about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, CIG was sued. They were sued for not producing a game, and CIG argued and won that their game is already a full released game. So once again, take that for what it's worth. We all know that this is not a fully released game, and it does not play like a fully released game. But I just, like I said, of all the things that people could attempt to sue CIG over, the fact that this guy is going after them for a paint, which apparently looks different on every ship that you put it on, well, Mark II Hornet ship that you put it on, just makes me go, what? Like, really? That's what you're going to waste your time with? It doesn't, I don't know. It just does not compute with me.
Difference being the amount and size of guns and missiles available, and the Super Hornets having an extra seat for a gunner in the back. So if you purchase one of these 12 ships, you make your decision based on this loadout and if it has 1 or 2 seats inside. The ship listed in the complaint is the new Super Hornet Mark II Heartseeker Edition. What makes a Heartseeker unique is the white paint with red accents, World War II style pinup emblem, and a ball style turret in the rear.
I wish we could get decals and put them on the nose of our ships, right? Like at least on fighters, maybe a few of the cargo ones, but like what, like we need this. Like I would love to do this, even if we could slightly customize them, but we all know that that's not going to happen. But I would love this. I would love this. A Rhino revolver, Taurus 44 mag revolver. I'm not so much of a revolver guy myself, but you know, a new firearm is always a beautiful thing. But that's just lore. That is why the Zeus Mark I will be more expensive. Old retired collectible.
Here's where things get a little out of hand and weird. Until the release of the new ship, there was only one Heartseeker in the game, and it was an old Mark I model. So you paid your $200 and you had yourself a Super Hornet Heartseeker. Now, instead of releasing an entire new Heartseeker ship, they're releasing $30 kits to make any Mark II Hornet into a Heartseeker. The kit gives you a white paint, red accents, and the pinup emblem, plus a ball turret. So far, so good. The problem the person making the complaint has is his ship doesn't match the paint that's shown in the purchase page. And it doesn't. Why they choose to use this particular picture, I'm sure I don't know. But it's not as simple as his paint doesn't match the picture. As mentioned before, there's several of these ships, 5 of them being the Mark II, which are what the kits are compatible
What's up,
with.
Canop?
Being compatible with the ships doesn't mean they'll look alike across the board, but they will turn it into a Heartseeker edition. If you apply it to a
That's a
Mark
good
II
analogy.
Super Hornet, remember it has an extra C, so it's noticeably bigger in every dimension. If you apply it to that Super Hornet Mark II, it looks exactly like the picture. Still, you might be a little surprised when your paint doesn't match what you saw in the store if you happen to apply it to the smaller single-seater Hornet. Until now, Heartseeker was always the bigger Super Hornet, but if you have the regular Hornet and they don't make that distinction on the site, you know what you're buying functionally but not visually. The image does show you what you do get if you apply it to the same ship, just not what you get when you apply it to the smaller one. The easiest way to remedy this, and what they should have done from jump, is just include both the Hornet and Super Hornet in the picture with the Heartseeker kit applied. I don't think his report to the authorities and requested gesture of goodwill are gonna go the way he thinks they are.
They're like, this is going to get thrown out so fast, it's going to be ridiculous, right? Unless the judge is very anti-CIG, corporatism, you know, and wants to help the little guy. I don't think that's going to happen. There is no way that this lawsuit is going to go anywhere, right? It's not going to go anywhere. Even if like, then if it's not a lawsuit and he just reported them to the what is it, consumer, they call it something different over in the UK, it's called a consumer something or other. Even if he did report them to them, like what are they gonna do? You better fix that paint, shame on you, don't do it again. Like nothing is going to come of this. Like I don't, like, I understand the guy, he's a little, you know, got some mad feelings about his ship not looking the way he wants it to look because of a picture, like, but I don't know, this is not the thing that I would like I said, this is not the thing that I would go after them for.
If he's actually gone ahead and reported this to the ASA, this is what will happen. Somebody at the ASA will have to review it to see if it's their problem to deal with and whether it's a legitimate breach in advertising rules. After that, if they decide to proceed, they'll contact CIG requesting evidence that they're complying with the rules. Then the ASA will have to review it and determine if there was a violation. After that, they'll publish a ruling on the site. If CIG is found to be in breach, they'll be required to amend or withdraw the ad. If they don't comply, then it gets escalated.
Exactly.
It gets wild from there. What's most likely gonna happen, if anything, because given their TOS, they might not have to do anything. But if they do anything, it'll probably be just updating the store page, and that'll be the end of that.
Yeah,
Then
it's like
this
nothing.
might prompt them to stop even offering paints that are compatible across several variants. If you don't think that's all that's gonna happen, you might not have been around for very long. Has the Bad New Merchantman changed from the original concept design that people purchased their ship based off of? Has the 890 jump? The Polaris? So things are subject to change. They stated in their terms of service, they stated on their shows, Star Citizen Live and Inside Star Citizen. It is what it is, my friend. Anywho, the takeaway from this
ain't
is to
going
understand
anywhere.
that things can and will change. And if you have a regular Hornet as opposed to the Super Hornet and you want to be a Heartseeker out in the space lanes, your paint will look a little different. That's my time. I'm Dig That. Fly dirty citizens.
Yeah, as I said, that nothing is gonna happen. It's all, yeah, this is like the Karen of Star Citizen, right? This is like a Karen response, and I don't see it as anything but a Karen response. Like, oh, my thing doesn't match, I'm gonna sue and report them. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. As I said, there's far different things and far more important things I'd be going after them for than a paint job. But as I said, I'm not going after them for anything. Like I've already chalked it up as the money that I've put in. If things end tomorrow, right, it's lost money, and I've learned to live with that. I'm not going to sue anybody. I'm not going to, any of that stuff. And besides, okay, let's say that this does go sideways, right? Let's say it goes completely sideways and there's a class action lawsuit, right? And everybody joins in, right? Everybody from the Star Citizen community joins in, and they sign their name as part of this this collective lawsuit. What are you going to get back? $30? $10? What are you going to get? They've already, like, CIG has already said this a bunch of times. Like, the money that they take in, so like the 112 million they made this year, that money is gone. Like, they don't have a lot of backup money or money in a war chest, right? They have some, but it's not enough to cover, like, if this thing went sideways and everybody sued them. They don't have enough money for that. And even if they did and they liquidated everything and they had to pay what, 100 million out to everybody or 200 million out to everybody, like I said, what are you going to get? $30, maybe $50? So I don't, I just don't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand it. I just, like I said, I don't get it. I don't get it. So we're going to hit a couple of, there's going to be quite a few Star Citizen videos because there's a lot of things going on and people have been talking about it in the Discord. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about it, people posting on Reddit and I almost said Twitch, on Twitter, and it's brought up some interesting responses. So, but I guess before we do that, let's do a little bit of a funnier one, because I don't know River Grit, but I know of his videos, and generally these are pretty funny. So we'll try this.
All right, guys, we're here with another.
So this is River Grit, and it looks like he's got Star Citizen trading card game or a magic card game or whatever you want to call it.
All right, guys, we're here with another Star Citizen's Echoes of Pyro booster pack.
He's so quiet.
Brand new. There are a few cards that I want to pull, one of them being the Banu Merchantman. Some say it's not even in production yet or hasn't even been made. So, all right, so first card, we have Mole Miner, Deep Excavation. This is a pretty common card, I hear. Solo Jumptown Sniper. This is a pain in the ass. I hate when people play this card. It's actually strong, but it has a really bad defense. Scope Glint is the ability. We have New Player. Yeah, this card is trash.
Wait.
Yeah, this card is trash.
No, go back. Creature, beast, 1/1. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, you gain 1 life. If the first spell of its kind you've cast this game, draw 2 cards. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's pretty funny though.
Yeah, this card is trash. That's not a good one. We have Explorer.
Search your library for a trap card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. Okay. I wish we had exploration, and yeah, there's some exploration in Star Citizen, but I was hoping for something different, and I was hoping with the expansion, we'd get the expansion of Pyro would get bigger. What's up, Pagan? Welcome to the Smelly Tuna show.
Also another low attack, low defense, common beast. Okay, here's a rare one. We have Griefer. This one.
Griefer? It's a 10/4. Ambush tactics. Whenever a Griefer attacks, all other players discard a card at random. Add multiple damage to streamer and streamer simp cards. These are good. These are really, really good.
One has a high attack, a little bit lower defense, but it does have a high attack. Ambush tactics is what it's known for. So this card comes in handy when your opponent plays a streamer or streamer simp card. It is a sweat creature. Okay, here we go.
You know what I think is hilarious too is he's wearing the pink rubber gloves. Like, this is hilarious. 30k trap card. You may cast the 30k if an opponent casts a spell that would result in them gaining life or creating tokens. This is great. I really want to know how he got these put together.
30k. All right, so this is definitely what I was looking for. It's our first trap card of the day. And it's
He's
a very
doing
common card. Happens.
Really good with this.
Almost everybody has it. Okay, we have
Almost
Racer.
everybody has it.
This is almost no attack, but it does have a strong defense. All right.
Whenever attacked, gain +1 haste until end of turn. What did this one say? Whenever the racer deals combat damage to a player, you may boost 2, then draw a card. Jeez.
All right. And then streamer simps. This is a good one as well.
Oh my god, you're amazing. Gifting you a pledged item. Please notice me. Endless praise. Whenever you cast a spell targeting a legendary creature, draw a card. This is great. This is so good. This is really good. This is a great idea. This is fantastic from River.
This one has an ability called Endless Praise. It has low attack, but extremely high defense. Okay, and then the last card, I'm looking for the Banu Merchantman card or the SM the Spy card. Ready? Here we go. AVS training.
Your Avenger. That's great. Total shot at Adventure Squad. Oh god, this is great. Let me show you what S tier means. Oh jeez.
It's actually not really a good card at all. It's not a beast. It's actually a trap card, and it nullifies pretty much all attack damage. There's no attack damage with this card. So, all right.
That was really good. That was fantastic. I really want to know where he got those made at, because those are hysterical. I would buy those. Seriously, I would buy those. Maybe he says in the comments. Oh, people are complaining about the pictures. Oh, I used these. I took these. You pulled a master, pulled a hollow master modes last night. Does he say? Oh, somebody else brought up the pink latex. I really want these cards. Like, where what there really is a Star Citizen trading card game called Star Citizen Squadrons. What? Really? I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm not on stream, but I'm gonna look this up. Okay, so that's it. Okay, but seriously, I need these cards, like River Grit's version of them, because they're funny. I would never play with them. I would just sit there and look at them and laugh, because, you know, it would be hilarious. I think these are hilarious. All right, one more Star Citizen video, and then we're gonna jump over to some other stuff for a little bit. But I really like those cards. Those cards were really well done. I need them. I want them. Give me cards. All right, we're going to look at this one. I'm kind of wondering what they're going to say about it. As I said, we're going to check out a few other videos. It's not going to be 100% Star Citizen today, but yeah, Star Citizen has a big gameplay problem by Kicker Games.
I hope all is well for you today. In this video, I wanted to discuss the problem with gameplay in Star Citizen and why it creates extreme repetition and lack of depth, as well as causes issues for long-term progress and value, as there really isn't any. I'm a huge advocate of games having rewarding gameplay.
Okay. I don't know exactly where he's going to go with this, but one of the many problems that Star Citizen has, you know, stability aside, you know, playability aside and whatnot, is that a lot of the game loops, it doesn't matter if it's from bunker running to salvaging, they even pirating and PvP sweat lording, like all of the game loops, they get boring at some point. They get extremely repetitive. You know, let's just take bunkers for an example, right? You have all the bunkers on the outside, for the most part, look the same. The interiors are 4 separate layouts. That's it. And the missions are all the same. Go here, kill X amount of guys, or go here, kill X target, and that's it, right? And you do those, hundreds of those, to get up to the highest level to make the most amount of money, right? But then what, right? You got there, now what are you grinding for? To buy another ship to run more bunkers? Like, and you see how and all of these gameplay loops play out the same, right? Oh, I want a bounty hunt. Oh, you get to that area where you can't bounty hunt anymore, so then what? Then you mine to get more money, to get the next ship, to get a little bit higher on the bounty thing, and then you go, oh, now what? And then and it's like this with all the gameplay loops. There's no real progression. There's no real reward system. There's nothing, right? The only thing that has any sort of progression or reward system to it is the contested zones, but not everybody wants to go do contested zones, which I understand that. But there's no real progression. You know, with PvPing or low flying, yeah, you get to see your skill go up a little bit higher every time you do it, but once again, at a certain point, it's going to become boring and repetitive, and you're not going to enjoy it as much anymore, and you're going to look for the next flavor of the week or the month, right? So that's one problem with Star Citizen. And another big problem that I have with Star Citizen is none of the gameplay loops like commingle or interact with each other, right? So if you go out and mine a whole bunch of stuff and you refine it, then what? You sell it, but there's nothing else to do with it, right? You salvage and then you come back and you sell it, but once again, there's nothing else to do with it, right? There's no salvaging missions, and even if there was, we all know what it would go. Ouch. Yeah, Diablo 4. I did not like Diablo 4 at all. Give me Diablo 2 all day. Last Epoch, Path of Exiles. No Diablo 4. I played the beta and I knew immediately I wouldn't like it. Maybe by season 43, it'll be a good game. But anyways, yeah, there's nothing interacts with each other, and there's no reason to do anything outside of make more money to buy more ships. So yeah,
that provides something for the player. And I think Star Citizen has a long ways to go before we get that type of gameplay. So without further ado, let's talk about some Star Citizen. Now, quick disclaimer, this video is not a simple hate video on CIG or Star Citizen. I'm going to be trying my best to offer some feedback for some of the critical cracks in the foundation of the current gameplay we have. The reason I decided to make this video was going and hopping on Star Citizen every couple of nights, every night or so, getting an hour or two in. It really begs the question, what am I actually...
All right, so, okay, if he's getting an hour or two in, like, what is he doing? Because, look, I'm going to do this here, okay? This is gonna, another video is gonna pop up, but I'm gonna do this. Okay, I guess not. Is complete. You get an hour or two every night, right? Now we'll count it as like right here. You get an hour or two every night to play. An hour or two every night to play. It took me 55 minutes. 55 minutes to get to my first bunker. That was just getting there. An hour to get to my first bunker. Like, guess gameplay experience is different for each and every person.
Actually doing here outside of just doing it to do it. And you know what? There is a lot in Star Citizen right now that can create enjoyment. It's extremely immersive. The things you can do, you just simply can't do in other games. But the current gameplay, the things that we actually go out.
So what things can we do in this game that we can't do in any other game? That's not a rhetorical question. Can somebody answer that? What in Star Citizen, what can we do that we can't do in any other game? If somebody can answer that for me, it would be fantastic. But seriously, I really want to know what in this game particularly can you not do in any other game? That's actually not a bad idea, Cosmic. But I'm kind of being serious. Like, what gameplay in this game can't you do in other games?
And the things we actually work for are either lackluster or not there at all. So today we're mainly going to talk about that. And simply, we're going to start this off with what is Star Citizen? In my own words, it is a sandbox, a limited sandbox that offers very few missions that are isolated from the world of Star Citizen. As much as I love the sandbox and the limitless feeling that this world attempts to offer, there isn't enough there to retain players for very long. Right now, we're going to be focusing on the mission part of the gameplay, but we will still talk about sandbox gameplay more specifically later. So the missions we do have in the game can be fun, but provide very little to the player as a reward outside of money and reputation bonuses that don't really offer much. Now, I will say this, as AI and server FPS improve, missions have been far more immersive and enjoyable than they previously were.
In my opinion, the game is starting to look it's starting to get on the edge of outdated looking. And there are quite a few games that offer this level of fidelity and immersion as Star Citizen does. Like, I still, let's say 1.0 comes out in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. When it does finally come out, this game's gonna really look its age. And that's not a good thing, right? Like, Elite Dangerous looks its age. Star Citizen is going to look its age when it finally releases compared to everything else that'll be out there. Can they improve it and update it? Yeah, but there's going to come a point where they can't do any more with it, right? It's like taking a game with Unreal 3 and giving it a facelift. It doesn't matter. Like, it gets to a point and it tops, and that's it.
I think once they start to offer different AI types, weapons, gadgets, PvE gameplay could be a lot more fun, and just generally all career paths. Though that doesn't separate the fact that these missions are very isolated amongst the world of Star Citizen, nor do many of them offer much incentive for teaming up or group play. Let me explain what I mean, though, when I say that these missions feel isolated. Right now, contracts are going to pop up in the contract manager with a basic description of what you will be doing and usually where these missions are. This is the only way currently to get contracts in the game. Once you select that contract, you'll be sent to a specific location to complete said objective, and you'll be rewarded with some aUEC as well as a tiny bit of reputation for said faction or company. For this example, I'm going to be using a mercenary contract to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Let's say the mission is finding a specific faction leader from Xenothreat and hunting them down at some sort of outpost. The outline for the contract is simple, but the potential for gameplay is decently large. Assuming there aren't too many bugs, you make your way to the designated outpost for the mission and you land nearby. You get out with any weapons and armor you brought and you head to the outpost on foot. You fight your way through the outpost using guns and grenades, and you manage to clear out all enemies and your target is now dead. So, what's next? Well, not really anything. You're going to get paid for your work and earn a little bit of reputation. But once the objective is complete, you are now no longer... That is true. But soon,
that is going to be very that's true for now. It's true for now, but there are several games coming out that you can look further now, so it's okay. I agree with you, Diz. There are games that I play still to this day that have shit graphics and I still enjoy them. Story and gameplay matter and help out with that. And I like, let's face it, Star Citizen does not have gameplay, or excuse me, does not have story, and their gameplay as it is now, I'm not talking about the future, as it is now, is not up to par with other games. The flying used to be, in my opinion, this is my opinion, pre-master modes. Now that master modes is here, I feel that flying has become dull, boring, and as tedious as the rest of the game. But that's just my opinion.
Or tasked with anything. At this point, you can loot and explore the area you are in, but that's mostly it. This is typically how a lot of missions go, and that's totally okay. But if you're looking for any missions that offer you a unique reward or more depth, you're a bit out of luck right now. And this is where we get into that isolated factor just a tiny bit more. Now, of course, this mission is nice.
What you're talking about is not isolation. What you're talking about is reward. I don't even want to say rewards, but like drops. Like a lot of games like this, whether it's FPS or a top-down RPG, I'm not saying they need to be loot pinatas or spew brightly colored objects all over the floor when you kill them, but there needs to be something, right? There's nothing unique about anything in the game, right? Heavy armor is heavy armor. Light armor is light armor. One F-55 is the same as any other F-55. It doesn't matter if it has camo on it or not, right? One PAR, whether it's a Nighthawk or a Boneyard, they are all the same, right? Everything is the same. There is no unique stats on anything. There's no unique quirks to anything. There is nothing, right? It's as Blaze is saying, they're dungeon missions with no concept of reward outside of giving you money, right? There's, as I said, you know, the armor is the same across the board. Doesn't matter what color it is. If it's light, it's light. If it's heavy, it's heavy. Guns are all the same across the board. Doesn't matter what paint you put on it. They're all the same. There's no uniqueness to anything. And if you told me that if I went and killed, like he just gave the example, I went and killed a specific Xeno threat leader and he happened to drop a, I don't know, like a cool painted CUDA that has a 10% chance to fire twice on a trigger pull, that would be cool. Right? That would be cool. Or if I had the Demico, right? The Demico's got the wind up. Like, let's say I found a Demico that had half the spin up time, or even a 20% reduced spin up time versus normal ones, right? That would be something I would go for, right? It doesn't have to be major. It just needs to be different, right? Heavy armor, right? That if you equip all the pieces of that gear, of that armor, then you get a 10% increase to your movement speed in heavy armor, right? So instead of being slow and sluggish, this one gives you a 10% boost in your movement speed, right? Only if you're wearing all the pieces to it, right? But we don't have anything like that, right? We have nothing, right? Oh, a bad guy drops a helmet with a night vision capable visor. Give me that, right? Or if I had an armor, right? A medium armor, and I have med pens on it, and I take damage, it has a 5% chance to inject me with med pen juice when I get hit automatically. I would wear that, but you got to wear all of that specific medium armor. But, you know,
because you're getting paid, you get a little bit of gameplay. you have a little bit of fun, especially if the server FPS is decent and the performance is nice. But
I disagree with him.
ends,
I still
it's
think
like
the
it never
AI
really
is,
happened.
for the most part,
The
dog
only
shit.
remnants of that mission are the dead bodies on the floor and the loot that you can take with you. But besides that, the mission giver that gave you that mission is not going to really contact you about the impact you made for them. And the Xenothreat is not going to have really any response towards what you just did to their gang. It's a weird feeling knowing that.
Yeah,
you just
exactly,
did something
Pagan.
that seemingly would be
Right. If I got like, say, I'm trying to think of something cool on a ship, right? Let's say I did a bounty, right? And they had coolers on it that basically reduced my heat signature to, like 2,000 or 3,000 above what stealth signature is. I would want that. Attritions that are not attritions. Let's say some M5 cannons, right? The M series of cannons, right? And they put a chance that a double shot, you do a double shot, like a percentage to double shot comes out of it, but only uses one shot out of your capacitor. I would take that. Or, something, right? Something. We need uniqueness in this game. There's no uniqueness to anything, right? Nothing. And that's what we're missing. I think that's what we're missing. I think that it would help a lot to keep people driving forward in some of these missions and wanting to do bounties, wanting to do bunkers, wanting to do salvage, right? Because you have a chance to find some of this stuff. That's just me.
Both factions in this situation. But the moment it's over, it doesn't feel like
that's what I feel
really
like it is, cannot.
Not only that, but there doesn't really seem to be a ton of depth in that mission. Yes, when you get to the outpost, the gameplay can be decent, but there's a ton of opportunity to add different small factors that would create a just generally more immersive experience. And that's what we're about to talk about a little bit more. So let's go back to that mission.
I hope his idea of immersion is not the same as what Mason was saying. It seems in this community, immersion gets confused with tedium, right? Like, even when I talk to the most hardcore of box jockeys that run cargo, like, even they get tired of moving the box from the freight elevator to their ship, flying to the next point, removing the boxes from their ship, putting it on the freight elevator, and doing that, and rinse and repeat for 3 hours, right? And how many do you get done? Like maybe 6, 7, 8, because you got to fly, remove the boxes, put them on an elevator, push the button, go to the commodity station, sell it, right? And you run back and forth doing all of this. Wouldn't it? Yep, it's this fucking game again. You missed us talking about non-Star Citizen, but now we're on Star Citizen again. We're going to non-Star Citizen.
See if we can not only add a bit more depth and immersion to the mission, as well as a little bit more value behind the rewards. Bringing it back to when you first select the contract.
I know, I'm excited.
What
I can't
if
wait.
there's a disclaimer letting you know that there are 2 Drake Buccaneers parked outside
Lamb
the outpost or somewhere near the outpost?
Lamb Chops playing along.
This by itself gives
the song that never ends.
Reasons to consider their choices.
It goes on and on, my friends.
Sure, if you have a good fighter ship, you can go in loud and attract the attention of the Buccaneers. The pilots will hop in, try and take you down, and you shoot them out of the sky. But what if you aren't nearly as equipped for dogfighting? You could try to take a stealthier approach, landing a distance out and going on foot to take out the pilots before they can access the Buccaneers. And imagine the mission giver mentions how starting this mission could create unknown effects from the enemy faction, meaning this faction might send out bounty hunters for you or call in a cutlass block to drop in some ground reinforcements. This could turn this mission that was originally a simple assassination
it's
all the
all
way
about
to a
Grumpy.
defensive mission that also has potential to give you gameplay
Grumpy.
long after the initial objective was completed. As a reward for doing this mission, this faction could grant you special armors and weapons that are themed around this faction that you will slowly earn for working for them. Now, I want to take a pause for 2 seconds and mention that these rewards are still very basic for what Star Citizen could offer. Of course, some special themed armor and weapons is cool, and money is nice, but besides ships, there still isn't many places to put that money. In the future, Long-term rewards like blueprints, crafting materials, specialized armors, and anything related to base building will offer more value for your long-term progression than what we currently have. Not only this, but guild progression will create long-term goals for...
What he's suggesting is still fucking boring, right? What are you going to get a blueprint for? The same P8 we've been running around with, right? Like, give me some fucking variety, something. Like I said, different stats on armor and guns and ship components, something. Like something I can actually loot that's worth something to me other than going, oh, it's another P8 sniper. I mean, just throw it into my inventory filled with 36 sniper rifles now, right? Like, give me something.
Players. Now,
only grumblings
stuff, and we're going to talk about this in just a second. But it's worth noting that this is a little bit further out now due to this playability initiative that Star Citizen currently has right now. So for the next year or even more, whilst we don't really have much to put our resources and time into, how can Star Citizen offer us a little bit more depth and value to what we do without having some of these, like blueprints, crafting, and base building?
Just put on,
talk about it,
put some different stats on.
But for now, we're going to stick with the idea that this mission could give you just some cool themed armors and weapons, themed to match the mission giver who assigned that mission. Now, of course, there are different career paths and mission types for each of these all throughout Star Citizen, but the point still stands. There needs to be less
that's what I was laughing at, Grumpy.
Type of missions. The actions you take in this world should not only have consequences and effects on your future gameplay, but it should also reward you for your time with things that will actually provide a long-term value, not just money. For these reasons, the missions we offer suffer from isolation. Like I said, they almost feel like a vertical slice bit of content, rather than feeling a bit more expansive, having some more depth, just a few more variables like the Drake Buccaneer example we had earlier, and feeling like they have any cause and effect on your future gameplay in Star Citizen. This is my biggest issue with Star Citizen in current day. Now, of course, we know about the 1.0 plans, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And we also have the narrative content that they've been pushing as of late, like right now.
What are you talking about, Grumpy? I still hate you.
As well as sandbox gameplay, where you can team up with friends and do things that might not have much meaning to them, but could be a decent bit of fun. Talk about that as well. But if you are a player that wants to hop on Star Citizen and work towards something outside of ships, you are completely out of luck. The only thing you are really rewarded with for any of the contracts and missions that is offered in this game is money and very, very useless reputation.
So everything that he's talking about, and he's showing this worm fight, right? Remember what they said at SitCon, what you get for killing this worm? You get a pearl that you can sell somewhere. That's what you get. That's what you get. Nothing unique about it. I mean, I guess the pearl is unique, but like, honestly, the more, as I've said a bunch of times, like I still love Star Citizen. I still want it to be a thing, and not just because I have money in it, but because of what it used to promise to be, or what it may still potentially be. But the more and more I play other games, the more and more I step further and further and further and further away from Star Citizen, the more and more, the more I realize that this is just a very poorly designed game from the ground up, and it shows no sign of getting any better. Like I don't see it. Maybe that makes me a bad Star Citizen backer. Maybe it makes me a realist. Maybe it makes me a asshole and a doomer, as some would say. But let's be 100% honest. Like, the foundations, the bones of this game, they're bad. They're really bad. Like it's really, really bad. Like once the rose tint glasses become cracked and you can see clearly out of one side, or maybe the lens falls out because you didn't pledge enough money, right? You got the cheap glasses instead of the good ones. You realize that this is not a well-designed game, and none of it's well-designed. The FPS is shit. The mining is honestly like the best designed part of this game, and it's not even done that well compared to other games, right? The flight is really bad. So yeah.
Unfortunately. So at the end of the day, if you enjoy the experience, if you hate the missions you're doing, if you think they're tedious, if you think it's the most
They're
fun
super
and enjoyable
tedious
aspect of gaming as a whole, you are still left with practically nothing outside of money. And yes, if you want to enjoy these missions just to simply enjoy them and don't mind not progressing towards anything in the long term, then all the power to you. But if you're like me, and I assume a lot of players, and want to do these missions and enjoy them, but also feel like you're pushing and making progress towards some sort of goal.
See, and here's the other thing that he's been going on about, you know, progress and items and all of this stuff, right? Here's another thing that makes me shake my head at what's going on, because most of the stuff in the game has been this way for 4 to 5 years now. Like, it's not changing. It's not getting any better. The stuff that we've talked about, the stuff that he's talked about, the stuff that I've said, the stuff that you guys have said in chat, it's been said over and over and over again for the last 4 to 5 years plus, right? And they still have changed nothing. What do they give us? Siege Vorsen? Oh my God. What'd you get out of that? Money. Oh my God, Xenothreat's here. What do you get out of that? Money. Oh shit, they turned JT on for the first time in a year. What do you get out of that? Seriously, what do you get off of that? More money. Oh, they added a new PvP event. It's called Ghost Hollow. Oh, it's not actually an event. It's going to be a staple piece in Star Citizen that nobody does anymore. No. Oh, we added Wake of Disaster. What do you get out of that? Money. Oh, save Stanton. What do you get out of that? The ability to spend more money. It's like I said, we've been over this for I haven't been here that long, but 4 to 5 years, people have been talking about this, wanting different weapons, different armor, different ship components, different mission givers, different cause and effect, progression, etc., the reputation system, all of that stuff. It's been 5 years. 5 years, and none of this has changed. Not a single damn thing. And the things that I've suggested, like, you know, putting some different stats on some armor, or a percentage to do X thing on armor, weapons, ship components. It's not hard, from what I understand from other people that I've talked to. It's not a hard thing to do. You just got to sit down and do it, and don't go crazy with the numbers, right? It's not a hard thing to do.
You are out of luck. And that is one of the biggest frustrations that we have currently in Star Citizen. Now, this brings us to the 1.0 talk again. The biggest reason I wanted to make this video now is due to CIG's plans for 2025. I'm all on board for getting this game in a more playable state, better performance, just generally adding quality of life to what we currently have. But we also know that in order to create that 1.0 experience, CIG is going to need to add plenty of features that we probably won't have for a decent bit of time. Things like base building, crafting, blueprints, and player-to-player trading. Many of these features are going to provide more opportunity for CIG to add value and reward players doing missions for guilds. But if we don't get these features, how should CIG go about adding value to what we are doing in the game right now? One of the most
exactly,
obvious
Mason.
answers outside of simply making the game perform well is creating more in-depth missions that aren't nearly so repetitive and have room to grow, as well as providing just a little bit more value for the actual rewards. Like we said before,
How old is this video?
Other example, if you could get, faction-based weapons, armors, skins.
So there was I think it's 7 days ago now. No, it's 6. I don't remember how long ago it was. So there was a 3-hour interview with Benoit. I forget his last name, and even if I did remember, I'd probably butcher his last name anyways. There's a reason why the missions are the way they are, and it's because of how they have to design them, and they have to be made in this specific way because of the way they used to do things. And in order to do it in the way that he wants, it's going to take them a lot more than just a year off of stability and playability to make the missions that this guy is talking about. They can't do it right now. They can't do it. Baguette. They just can't do it. So one of the things that was the most eye-opening to me out of that thing, well, not the most, but one of the more eye-opening things is CIG is always complaining about how many entities are in the game at any given point, right? So we have millions upon millions of entities because of all the ship weapons, all the game weapons, salvaging parts. When you explode a ship and all the parts go flying, all the minables, et cetera, goes on down the line. When they create a mission, they're creating a separate entity for the mission, a separate entity for the mission marker, separate entities for the NPCs, separate entities for the ships, and so on and so forth, all the way down the line for that entire mission. So, I don't know. I'll leave it at that.
Any items that can be themed towards that faction, I think that is a pretty basic reward, but it is something other than money that a player can work towards. And I do generally think that even though it's not
a different color armor, it'll get thrown in the inventory and never used,
giving them just a little bit more incentive to work towards something. Now, looking back at the example we talked about previously, if we had more missions that had just a few variables, like possible enemy ships parked out front, the game could feel fresher for longer. Creating missions that challenge you as a player to consider your options.
Pre-server meshing, they tried this. At Ghost Hollow, they tried it. You would go in, you'd kill some AI, you'd start the process, and then Cutlass Blacks would show up with troops in the back, and they were supposed to pile out and start attacking you. The problem is that it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. They didn't. If they didn't disembark, they would step off and then just stand there and looking dumb. They just don't work. So they just removed them completely from the game, and they've never added anything like that since. Nothing. And I agree, Grumpy. This is the Iron Man UI. I hate it when there's tons of stuff going on. It just looks like a clusterfuck.
And plan and approach is a lot more enjoyable than the model we have now. Simple missions like the ones we have are not bad at all. They would be very helpful for beginner players to introduce them into different game types. But there needs to be more room to grow for challenging and dynamic missions.
What you mean, like the raids at the distribution center we still haven't gotten yet? Oh yeah, those?
Giving you more incentive to get some of those early missions done and work towards some of those more difficult missions that'll take more planning, more time, maybe emphasize some teamwork aspects, maybe not required,
ERTs?
But emphasize, hey, it might be smarter to take a friend with you because this is going to be a little bit more of a challenging mission. And at the end, offering you a better reward, something other than just money. Yes, it might come with a nice paycheck, which of course is a very nice incentive for a lot of players. But if it gave you something simple, like as we talked about, an armor set that you can only get for that specific faction that you work for, I think that could be a really awesome.
And then you'll never ever wear it because you'll be too afraid to lose it. One of those kind of armors, yeah, sounds great.
Reward that would bring a player to find more value behind
I
what
know,
they're actually
Grumpy.
doing.
I'm
Now,
sad.
this is where we also have to talk about the narrative content approach CIG is pushing now. Whilst these missions have been enjoyable for the most part, they have yet to
There's
actually
no
show
narrative.
any narrative storytelling within them. It is as if I have to imagine what is going on simply because the game does not portray it at all through the gameplay. I think over time, this will change as CIG creates more of this content, but even simple things like a few basic voice lines for characters or actually catching these factions in the act of taking over a base would provide a lot more than what we have now. I don't think CIG is unaware of the lack of narrative in these missions, as they very obviously know how to portray it in their marketing. I just simply think that maybe the mission team hasn't been given the resources to create a genuine narrative experience. This is pure speculation, but my hope is that
Is it bad that I'm just fundamentally disagreeing with most of the stuff
CIG
he's
starts
saying?
pushing these experiences out with not only more in-depth missions, but actual narrative elements that clearly show the change going on in the world. I still believe that these narrative missions could hold us off until we get more of that 1.0 content that they want to push out. We know they're going to be pushing this narrative content all year, which is good. But I also hope, like I said before, we get some more depthful missions that can increase in difficulty over time, incentivizing different things, as well as giving us rewards that aren't just simply money. By itself, this narrative content that has been rewarding things that aren't just money has given me personally way more incentive to play these events and go along with the narrative. Again,
I guess he likes purchasing new spaceships.
and CIG wanting more playability is absolutely a positive change. I just hope that whilst they bring the game to a more playable state, they also make the gameplay more enjoyable and impactful for players. Now, before we wrap this video up a bit, we need to talk about the more sandbox elements of Star Citizen.
Oh my god.
Diverse in Star Citizen is beautifully open world and has tons of systems to create your own gameplay with other players. Whilst I think this is awesome, it has a long ways to go before it feels like the game will actually support this sandbox gameplay. Organizations, which are a massive part of this sandbox element, lack any tools currently to offer gameplay in the actual game. You can still manage to have events with other players in your orgs, but it's much more of a hassle than it should be. I think the closer we get to 1.0, orgs and sandbox gameplay will actually have a bunch more defining experiences for players and groups. Giving orgs the ability to create bases that act as hubs for players is one of the most amazing sandbox elements that we simply don't have yet. I love seeing orgs set up these massive fleet battles currently and doing all these events. But I
can tell he either does not like to PvP or has never PvP'd, because there's a lot of things that you can do sandbox derivative wise, just doing some pirating. But the problem is, just like everything else, it gets repetitive because, well, okay, first you have the box tedium, right? Moving boxes from point A to, or from ship to freight, then to a freight elevator, and you find out the place is full and you got to repeat the process, right? Yeah, that gets boring. It gets boring as fuck. But the other problem with pirating in Star Citizen is that 99.9% of the people that you pirate, this is one of the three options you get. They Alt F4, they backspace, or they stand there near their pilot's chair with a sperm suit and no gun. Right? Those are the three options you get. Every once in a while, you get somebody that tries to negotiate with you, somebody that tries to fight back, somebody that goes and tries to steal your ship, right? But out of 100 times you do a hit, how many times does that happen? Once? Right? Once. The rest of them just call you bad names in chat, and that's it.
I think there is much more potential to adding purpose behind these types of encounters. Surprise attacking an org in the future to steal their resources creates awesome sandbox gameplay, whilst offering an incentive so that you have resources for your own org.
Until you run across test squadron, and then you're fucked.
Carrier to cripple their defenses and make them more vulnerable to a space station raid would be an awesome use of these sandbox elements. But we simply don't have anything like that in the game right now.
Do you really think the servers right now or in the near future are going to be able to handle 200 people in the same spot? Like, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Hang on, sweetheart. Tons of things
What's
you
up,
can do
Jim?
with the current sandbox, but it doesn't have the needed features and content to make it a more purposeful use of your time. For now, we do the thing we want to do simply because it can be fun. Very similar to the mission talk that we had earlier. Some people do those missions simply because they enjoy the missions and that's it, which I absolutely support. I think this is a great mindset. But at the same time, there should be elements of this sandbox that offer a bit more purpose to players outside of the simple enjoyment of having fun. And that really helps me summarize a lot of what we're talking about here today.
Okay, I just can't.
Gameplay across
I can't. There's 4 more minutes left of this, and I can't. I absolutely just can't. I just can't. So let me sum up the entire 20 minutes for you. Mission design is terrible. There's no interaction of any of the gameplay loops together. There's no player-to-player interaction. There's no progression, and basically, Star Citizen in layman's terms is a mile wide and an inch deep. There we go. There you go. There you go. That's this video. There it is. Just another 10 years and just another $10 billion, right? Like, I'm done. I can't. I just can't. I can't. I absolutely can't. We're gonna watch a Viva La Dirt video, and then we're gonna watch this Grumpy Eye video. Okay, so yeah, let me add the Grumpy Eye video real quick, and then we'll do this video first and then the Grumpy Eye one. But let me add it, otherwise I'll forget. And it'll be bad. Oh, excuse me. There we go. It has been saved. All right. Can't be a streamer, a React streamer, if you don't react to a Viva La Dirt.
We're taking over the ship.
I mean, I don't know, man. I tried playing the other night, and I did not have a good time. Like, it was pretty bad for me. I mean, I had a good time because I had chat with me. Like, I had a good time with chat and me interacting and laughing at the situation. But if I were to just be sitting there, no friends on, no chat, and it was just me in the game, I would have, honestly, after the 3rd bug, I would have just Alt F4'd and not played again for a while. But you do you, man. You do you. Maybe you'll find a better experience than I did. I'm not saying my experience is the only experience. I'm just saying that that's what it is right now. Jim is saying that he can't even log in, hardly. All right. So as I said, you can't be a React streamer if you don't do Viva La Dirt. So we're going to do this Viva La Dirt, and then we'll check out Grumpy's video.
Jake's right.
Why is it all the way over here? Okay, this is very loud, and I'm going to fix that. All right. Viva La Dirt. What is it called again? When the trailer is made before the game. I have a feeling we're gonna be drawing a lot of Star Citizen parallels here.
Gods of the light realm are falling. The Dark Lords are rising.
Epic and expensive trailer sounds.
Can save it. Journey to the Shadow Realm to save the world. Coming soon.
And there it is.
Holy fucking shit, Jake, that looks incredible.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Jake, that was awesome. The community is gonna lose their minds.
Oh my God, we're gonna make so much fucking money. God, yeah. Bow.
I'll talk to the marketing team and make a release plan so that we can release the trailer.
God, Jake, I am so impressed. Holy shit. You know, I actually had no idea we were so far along into development.
We're not.
Sorry, what was that?
We haven't been working on any of that.
Jake?
Does this sound familiar? Does the... Oh, shit. All I'm seeing is Chris Roberts right here. This is his face when they're like, oh, we haven't started working on any of this. Huh?
I mean, well, Delvin is technically correct. None of this is, you know, in the game yet.
We haven't even started development. We don't even know what the story is yet.
I'm confused. I thought that the trailer said actual in-game footage.
Oh, yeah, but that's just the thing people say.
No, it's not.
Look, it's been so...
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The amount of video games over the years that I have bought or watched that says in-game footage, and then you buy the game or you download the game, and it's nothing like that. Oh my God, it happens all the time. Yes, it's just a thing that people say.
So long since we released anything that I thought I would take the initiative and generate some hype, let people know that we're still working on things.
But we're not working on this.
But we could. And Clint did say it looked pretty cool, so mission accomplished.
That's true, I did say that.
See? Worth every penny.
Actually, on that, how much did this cost?
Was it?
This trailer, how much did it cost?
Was it?
Jake, the budget for the trailer, how much did it cost?
15?
Sorry, what was that?
15.
I can't hear it. What was it?
50%.
50% of the marketing budget, Jake?
No. Not the marketing budget. 50% of the entire budget for the expansion.
Oh my
What?
God.
Look, sizzle like this.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the comparisons I could make from this to Star Citizen, I'm starting to wonder if they finally figured out, like if Viva La Dirt has figured out what they have to know what Star Citizen is, right? It would be ignorant to me of me to say that they don't know what Star Citizen is. They have to know, right? They have to know. Please tell me this is that. Like, I've watched a couple of their recent videos where they've been doing the Skycraft thing and talking about getting whale money and all of that. Please, they have to be looking at Star Citizen and going, that would make good content, because what they're talking about is exactly what they do, and it's fucking hilarious.
This costs money. I had the entire department working on that one water shot for over a month.
Jake, what the actual?
That's why it looks so good.
God, Jake.
Look, Clint, I know you're angry.
Yeah.
But I got one word for you. Pre-sales.
Oh, dear Jesus.
What?
No.
Yeah, what?
No. Clint, do not get distracted.
Don't look at her.
Coming soon. Playable alpha. Pre-sales now. Pledge for your pre-sale. Pledge for the ability to pre-sale.
Look at me, Clint, hey,
Clint, no.
Yeah, you're probably true, Cam. It's probably true.
No. Just don't look at me. Do not get distracted, Clint.
Pre-sales.
Clint, we don't even have a game.
But maybe we don't need a game? I mean, if we've already got all the
The amount of video game companies that do this shit is unbelievable. Hey, you too, Chaos. It's good to see you, man.
Pre-sales.
Yeah, you're right,
Does it even
Mason.
matter if we've already got all that money?
Day after tomorrow.
Jake's right. We could just keep promoting this trailer and then we'd never even need to make a game.
And we only spent half the budget, so that's 50% right there.
We can't just keep promoting the trailer. People won't keep buying pre-sales.
Sure they will.
Yeah, of course they will. Our community are fucking idiots.
Idiots with money.
For pre-sales.
Exactly.
No.
Holy shit.
No, Clint, please.
Can you feel
The fact that I actually
can't argue with the pre-sales. You just can't argue with the pre-sales.
Say it with me. Pre-sales. Pre-sales.
Pre-sales.
Pre-sales. Pre-sales. Pre-sales. Pre-sales. Pre-sales. You know what? Let's just watch it one more time. Let's watch it again.
Yeah.
The gods of the light will
God.
I hate you, Jake.
Hello, everybody. We have partnered with a YouTube channel called Viva La Dirt League to exclusively promote Skycraft merch for some reason. Don't know why. Horrible marketing decision. But it's over at vldl.shop. The link is over there. Skycraft merch.
Wow.
All available right now. vldl.shop.
Wow. That was actually really good. I feel duped. I feel duped. Yeah, I just feel straight up duped. Oh, it's not on here. I have to refresh. Sorry. And here we are, back here. 2 years ago, 317.1 experience, ASMR and relaxation edition. Wow. If you guys don't know who this is Grumpy Eye Gaming, and he is a Siberian YouTuber. So we're gonna watch this and see what he's got to say.
Hello, my name is Grumpy. Grumpy, I grumpy. Grumpy, I grumpy. Grumpy, I grumpy ASMR.
Oh, remember that inventory? Remember that inventory you could just use anywhere?
To relax with the ASMR sounds.
Me too, Jim.
Star Citizen. Since nothing else is working anyway.
If only he knew how much. He's Siberian, bro. He's Siberian. But yeah, this is from 2 years ago. It's 317.1 stuff. I miss this old inventory layout, even if it wasn't working. But he said nothing is working right now. Imagine if he kept playing and realized how much worse it would get.
Any day now.
Yeah, and yes, he's really Serbian. He's Serbian. It's kind of a inside-outside joke of me calling him.
It's gonna be open
Siberian.
Soon. Any day now.
Or Syrian.
Any day now.
Yeah, that's true, Cosmic. That's true. It still does this.
Emergent gameplay.
The lip smacking is killing me.
Let me try.
Lick the mic.
Another box. Maybe just that one is broken. Maybe not. We shall see.
Just lick the mic, Grumpy. Just lick it. Just lick the whole thing.
There's another box here. Any day now.
Serbian fact check. Yeah, he's Serbian. No. Now we got Sri Lankan.
We would be honored if you would join us.
What's going on, Marlov? Watching an old Grumpy video.
I can feel it.
He's doing ASMR while things are broken. This is all the way from 317.1. I did like this patch. You guys gotta wait till I'm playing a scary game.
Enjoy the ASMR. Star Citizen ASMR.
ASMR. Lick the mic, Grumpy.
Yes.
Throat it. Just throat it. Just.
I can't do this anymore. I'm on the verge of suicide. Let me try this one more time.
At least he didn't have a timer.
Never mind. ASMR.
Ah, but if he's a Saiyan, is he a Super Saiyan or is he just a regular Saiyan?
Elevator Game Loop ASMR.
Super Saiyan? Does your hair go blonde and stand up?
Star Citizen Gun ASMR.
Where is he at? Lyria? One of the Microtech moons? Oh yeah, he's on. He's got to be on Microtech. No, wait.
Surface ASMR.
Yeah, he's in Microtech because of the. Well, maybe he's Crusade. I don't know.
Cuddy black with an overpriced paint.
Hey, you should sue for that paint job. Like that guy we watched earlier. Yella.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you have a mule?
Oh,
the mule.
Yeah.
When did the mule come out? It still doesn't work. It still doesn't work. Doesn't do anything it's supposed to. But they came out with an atlas.
Drake Mule ASMR.
Oh man, this is 2 years ago and it still doesn't work as advertised. Why can't we sue about this? As I said in that video, there are so many different things people could contact the consumer agency in the UK about, but now we have people going after them for paint and not like the mule or the Carrick or the MSR or the what's the one that causes seizures? The Gladiator? That's the right one, right?
Fuel port AS.
Fuel port? What do we stick in that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know that thing had a fuel port.
Radar.
Can you hook a Starlance or a Starfarer to it? Fateless, what's up, man?
No sounds. Therefore, ASMR.
Broken inventory again.
System. ASM fucking R. Because nothing in this game currently is working.
It's not true, Grumpy. The buttons are working. The buttons are working. The buttons work. See? And you get that little
Whatever
thing.
This thing is ASMR.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That was really good. Oh, man. Hey, there's Fateless right there. I knew he was on here. I knew he was on here. Do we have more ASMR?
I'm gonna drink some pills and die now, ASMR. Goodbye, cruel world, ASMR.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. I like that. 2-year-old video still makes me laugh. Still makes me laugh. All right, what time is it? Because I got to do dinner soon. Ooh, we got time for one more video. We got time for one more video because I got to go do dinner. I got to do dinner. But I'll be on playing video games after dinner for a while. Okay, so I have time to do one more video. What should we do? Should we do... I'll give you a 1, 2, and 3 options. You got to walk your dog. I can play Rivals later tonight for sure. We can do a 1, 2, and a 3 option. Okay. So number 1, truth about server meshing. Number 2, CIG bugs and improvements. And lastly, I guess we're just going to do a 1 and a 2. And 3. AAA space collapse. I got you, Grumpy. I got you. I know you're trying to fix your sleep schedule. So 1, server meshing. 2,
fresh meat.
But Matt Scotsman, what's up? Yeah, I gotta go cook dinner soon too. So 1, 2, and 3 option. Truth about server meshing, bugs and improvements, or 3, AAA space collapse. So we got a 1 and a 3. 1, server meshing. 2, bugs and improvements. 3, AAA space collapse. So we got okay, so we got 3 votes for 1, 2 for 3. Oh, we got 1 for 2. All right, we're going for, I guess, 1, I guess. We're going for 1. Okay. We'll take a look at 1. Which is perfect. It's a shorter one because I gotta go make dinner. All right. Commerl, everybody. The truth about server meshing, a follow-up video. All right, let's see what Commerl usually has some pretty good, well-researched, well-thought-out opinions. So it's a pleasure, Commerl.
Hello, everyone.
Camerl.
On Monday, I released my reaction video to last week's 2.5 hours long live stream with Benoit about server meshing. Benoit talked about the problems, transportation system, elevators, hangars, etc. Benoit said ATC, metro transportation system, elevators and more are using old code that is not compatible with server meshing. The people who worked on this.
Okay. So one of the things that I find really, really interesting, right, is they bought Turbulent last year. Benoit is like the head dude at Turbulent, if I'm remembering this all correctly. He seems to, even though it's not in title, he seems to have slid into Todd Pappy's old position, even though it's not in title. And he seems to be fixing more than the employees at CIG. And he seems to understand more what's going on in this game, even though he's not part of the original crew. He's from an outside company that used to design some spaceships and some paints for them. Oh, and their website a few times. Why is this a problem? Because CIG doesn't know how to fix their own shit and they have to keep going to outside sources, right? So once again, if you travel back in time to, I think it's around the 2018, 2019 era, right? That's when they started talking about server meshing and all this other stuff. Isn't it amazing that they got to a certain point and then they buy Turbulent, they put Benoit on server meshing, and within a year, server meshing is a reality? Like, isn't that wild? Like, they obviously CIG got to a certain point and then said, we can't do it anymore. And this guy comes in and does it for them. At least that's what it seems like from me, from the outside looking in.
This old code are not working for CIG anymore. This code has to be written new, which takes time. There will be some quick fixes in the meantime. This is what happens when Squadron 42 and Star Citizen were supposed to get released in November 2014. Yes, 2014, but Chris is tracking out game development over almost 13 years by now.
It's called a rear admiral. That sounds kind of nasty, but I am a rear admiral.
Wow.
And, so that'll get me, obviously, the finished game, the RSI Constellation, this Millennium Falcon, and maybe I can convince some of my friends, like, you know, Spoonie or other Joe, to be crew in it. We can go and travel the galaxy together and make funny videos about our encounters and shit. So that'll be pretty fun. I mean, this game looks to be really fucking amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pledge. So if you want to be in the alpha and the beta for the game that comes out.
Wow, look at how much money they have back then. Look at how much money they have back then. Dude, it was 13 years ago, Jim. It was 13 years ago. 13 years ago. Damn.
They're estimating hopefully to have it out by November 2014. Obviously, that's a long time away, but for a project like this, I want them to take as much time as they need and make it as well as
cheese curds
and create the ultimate space
or tuna,
game
some would say.
Fully fleshed out universe and mythos.
You have old code mixed with new code. The people who wrote the old code are not working for CIG anymore. And according to this, there's little to no documentation. Yeah, good luck trying to fix this. Benoit also said the problem with ships and vehicles on elevators is ships' vehicles are physicalized, elevator is not. Why did anyone ever think this would be a working solution? Just to
see, and this is what I'm talking about. A year, going up to a year ago, because April's fast approaching, because 3.23 came out in May-ish of last year. 2 weeks before that, the guy that was the lead dude of the hangar development program came out and said, oh, we missed it by this much. We just had some polishing to do, and we knew we wouldn't make it on time, so we had to take it out of the patch and push it back further. But don't worry, everything, I mean, it's this close. Everything is just, it's amazing. It's so amazing, and you know, we were really disappointed to be so close and miss it. And what have we gotten out of it? Hangars eat ships. Your ships fall through the hangar floor. We fall through the hangar floor. The flare that you're supposed to be able to put all over your hangar just blows away as soon as you go to lift off or land in them. What's the point? What's the point? This guy put in all this work and led a team to do this for basically what has now become the basic choke point for any playability in the game. Why? Because you can't call a ship to go do anything. So you're stuck. Or you do get to call a ship, but it spawns in upside down. Or you got to call a ship and you walk onto the elevator and you fall through. And then your ship falls through and lands on top of you and kills you, right? Or your ship doesn't spawn. It should be on the pad. ASOP says it's on the pad, but it's not on the pad. Or it doesn't spawn and it says destroyed. Or it says unknown, right? Amazing gameplay loop. Amazing. It's so cool jumping from server to server to find a working fucking personal hangar, right? It's so amazing.
To kick the next patch out of the door and collect more money, you have to rewrite vehicle elevator code too. My main concern at this point is, why did CIG lie to us in Inside Star Citizen Dev Diary Server Meshing July 2024? I used those dev statements in July 2024 to make a funny video, and I'm not proud of it. I was hoping I could retire this video, but nope. For many people and myself, it was clear you cannot just put server meshing on top of old ancient code with quick and dirty fixes, several layers on top of each other, and expect
sounds like my sex life.
And please don't tell me it worked perfectly fine July 2024 on their computers that were directly connected to their servers next to it and with a few people playing in it only.
Oh yeah, remember when we were supposed to have the vehicle elevators off here to the side somewhere? Yeah, where's that at? We're all going on, once again, almost a year and we still don't have it. Where is it? Right? It's been, see, and here's the thing that really fucking pisses me off, because they do and say things like this and then they don't talk about it ever again when it never happens, right? When was the last time?
Stay a while and listen.
When was the last time? Ban. Goodbye. When was the last time they fucking talked about distribution raids? Right? Distribution center raids. 2 years ago? Hangar modules, or excuse me, hangars with the freight elevators, going on a year now since they've talked about it, right? I could go on with the amount of shit that they've talked about, and then they release half or tier 0 of some shit, and then they never touch it again. right? So remember with 3.23 and they released master modes, what was the hubbub about for nearly 2 full patch cycles? Oh, don't worry, we're going to address the issues that you're having with master modes in 4.0. Well, 4.0 is here and gone. We're already working on 4.02. Where's the changes? Where's the fixes? Where is it? Nobody fucking knows. Where's Yogi at? Where is Yogi? Has anybody heard from Yogi? No, I didn't think so. Nobody's heard from Yogi.
One knows things do not scale. Having the same code but more than 100 people playing over the internet leads to very different results. Results we see since we get server meshing. Elevators not working, hangars not spawning ships, people cannot access their hangars, ATC unresponsive, ships exploding, mission markers not showing up, etc. Actually, we have those problems for many years by now, even before server meshing.
Yeah.
But it has gotten a lot worse with server meshing. I wonder if the devs in CRG's video, July 2024, were just reading text from a teleprompter prepared by marketing because
it seems
they
like
didn't
it.
want to lose their jobs.
Basically, we learned that it worked.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Went surprisingly well for us.
Yeah, it was great fun.
Not this time. No, not this time.
It worked.
Wrong.
Yeah, the technology was working kind of as we expected.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
We were surprised that the game code worked.
See, once again, the guy that got bent out of shape about the paint, why isn't he bent out of shape about this? Why can't we bring this up to the UK Consumer Protection Services, whatever the fuck they're called, right? Why can't we bring that up to them, right? Why? Server meshing is literally a lie. I mean, does it work? Sorta. But does it actually work? No, all the basic functions of the game are broken and have been broken since 4.0 released. So, what?
As well as it did.
It's fiction. It's fiction.
Yeah, and it actually works.
It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
And watching it all largely work.
It never happened. It's false.
And things seem to be working very, very well.
It never happened. It's a fake.
That worked so well.
It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened.
Has there ever been a point in the last 5 years where you lost faith? No. Really? No, yeah, no.
No way. We got you. Not a chance.
But by and large, we're really impressed with the maturity of the tech so early on.
It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up.
Make it so, number 2.
Weil der Roger Godfrey released yet.
Oh, exactly. Right. Like I agree, Tiz and Cosmic. Like this isn't even the beginning. Like this is static server meshing, right? If you want to call it that. And now they want to transition into making it dynamic. Just wait for the shit show. And remember, I've done these hot take tunas and all of in the fermented tunas, and I've made videos laughing at them about how server meshing is going to work and how it's going to be just as broke as 3.18 and blah 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 blah. And there's comments on those videos and in those there's comments in those videos and those hot takes that people watch that they claim I don't know what I was talking about. I'm just a hater. I hate the game. I'm a doomer, like all kinds of stuff like that, right? Well, here we are. Look at what happened. Was I wrong because I thought they weren't going to push it until February, March, April of this year? Yeah, I'm wrong. But guess what? I'm not wrong on the fact that shit don't work. I'm not wrong on the fact that people can't log in. I'm not wrong on the fact that this is a shit show, just like I said it was going to be, right? Oh, but a broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, fuck off. We all knew this was coming. And that's okay. Let's not even talk about dynamic yet. Let's talk about them fixing stability and playability. It's going to get worse before it gets better. They're going to take 2 steps forward in fixing stuff, and other things are going to take 2 to 3 giant leaps backwards. right? And that's the way it's going to be for the majority of the year. Are we going to get some new missions? Maybe. Are we going to get some new ships to buy? You're damn straight we are. But this is going to be a long, long, long year for the White Knights and the hardcorest of Star Citizen players, right? This is going to get hard. This is going to get very, very rough for you guys. And if you guys continue to play and have problems with it, well, that's on you, man. That's on you. Dungeon, dude, I haven't seen you in forever. When are you going to drop a new video? When are you going to drop a new video? Please tell me, when are you going to drop a new video? I need some dungeon. I need some dungeon. I love the way you say y'all. I love the way you just love talking about your tabletop games. I love it when you got fired up over the I almost said Mech Warrior, over the Battletech mercenaries thing that you got. Like that video and any of your dank or jank with the magic cards, those are top tier videos right there. And don't get me wrong, I do like your videos where you go back and you look at your Warhammer and your Battletech minis and stuff like that. But for me as a fan, and I know you got a lot of people that watch you, but for me as a fan, more Battletech, please, more Warhammer, please. And I don't know if you've ever done it because I haven't gone through your library, but maybe some for somebody like me, like you suck at painting, here's how to be better. Or maybe that's a bad way to do it. Maybe it is you are paint challenged. Let me show you some tips and tricks to make you look better than you are. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, I forget the name of the unit that was all pink. I forget the name of the unit, but there's an actual mercenary unit that's all pink in Battletech. Anyways, let me finish ranting on this so I can go and make dinner and eat dinner. I'm getting hungry. But yeah, CIG and their fixes this year, it's going to get really bad in some aspects before it gets better. So worse before better.
In December 2024 saying self-meshing after we rebooted it as a program in late 2020 is now in players' hands. Yes, but in what state?
Didn't Roger Godfrey leave? Cortec Group is now thriving environment for some of the best game technology engineers in the industry. Server meshing after we rebooted it as a program in late 2020 is now in players' hand. Didn't he leave?
Date? CIG, if you ever wondered why people are tired of you, don't believe.
Also, if you're still here, Dungeon, what is a good what is something good to strip paint off of plastic? Do you got anything good to strip paint off of plastic? Suggestions would be great because I want to repaint some stuff. I didn't like the way it turned out, and I kind of want to repaint them.
Leave anymore. We will even get 10% of the stretch goals in the next 10 years. Here's your answer. You are lying to us for more than 12 years by now. I could make hours and hours and hours of videos showing your lies. Actually, I make such videos. Yeah. Chris, CIG, if you want to have our support in the future, please stop lying to us. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
I like how he adds a film grain to a lot of his videos.
Stole one against me from the start, and he's had it out for me ever since.
Simple green.
All
right.
Had nothing to do with your lack of promotion. Your flying style took care of
Luke.
that. Tolan doesn't even know you're alive.
Use the Force.
Oh, that's what you think.
Use the Force on Biff Tanner. Is that his last name? Tanner? Use the Force on Biff. Make him eat some more cow manure.
Everybody knows about the maniac. Everybody. How many people here know about the maniac, huh? Oh, it's a mirror. How many people here know about the maniac, huh? Anybody at all?
Come on, Biff.
Don't jump up all at once or anything, everybody. How many people here know about the Maniac? I do.
Carl, yes, you're ruining my movie, man.
I think he started doing a lot of voice acting.
There I
think.
was at the counter at Schwab's drugstore in Hollywood.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to.
All right, that was Kamerl, everybody. I love me some good Kamerl videos. Wait, did he die? No. Don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. I was gonna say, yeah, he's done a lot of voiceover work. He's still alive. He had me scared there for a second. He's still alive. I mean, dude, there's been plenty of people that have died from cancer. Butt cancer. What's his name? T'Challa. Oh God, why can't I remember his name? The guy that played Black Panther. He died from butt cancer. What's his name? What is this guy's name? This guy. It's the proper medical term, butt cancer. Where is it? Yeah, see? Rectal cancer. Rectal cancer. Rectal cancer. So don't tell me. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. And it was sad to lose Chadwick Boseman. I just actually watched 42. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. But I had only seen him in Black Panther and 42. It's the same. It's the same thing. I am rectal cancer. I am rectal cancer. Get wrecked. All right, guys. I have got to go do the whole dinner stuff. That's right. Get wrecked. I got to go do the dinner stuff. Thank you for hanging out with me. There is nobody for me to raid out to, like any of my buddies. None of them are doing their thing. Let me double check, make sure none of them are doing their thing. Let me double check. I would have gotten an announcement on my phone. Nope, none of my buddies are doing streaming stuff. So guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to my rants and all my other BS. If you haven't, go visit Dungeon Brush Babbles on YouTube. His link is a little bit further up. Scroll up and get that. Visit him. He does a lot of tabletop and trading card game stuff. And with that, guys, so long. Thanks for all the fish, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow afternoon. You guys have a great evening, great night, great morning, wherever you are. Peace.